Hi everybody. So I wanted to do a video about what KAP has done for my life, how it changed my life. So I'll first give some kind of background so that you know where I'm coming from. A couple of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I had a Kundalini Awakening. There was a part of my life that ended, and I was in a very low state. I was kind of depressed, and I didn't know what to do. So I isolated myself, and I thought, I'm just gonna get enlightened. I'm gonna meditate the shit out of me. Gonna stick to a healthy eating, gym routine, doing all kinds of practices all day, every day. And I documented it actually. I still have the videos, but I never knew what to do with them because to then I had too much pride to upload them. Now my pride is less. So I was doing that every day for months. And then at one point I started doing Kriya Yoga from Sadhguru, Isha Kriya, and I had some Kundalini moments. The third eye was becoming active. And then at a certain point, I had like an issue with my digestion, and then my routine broke off, and I couldn't function like I functioned before. So I went to an ayahuasca retreat, and I fasted like 2 weeks, right? Before the retreat, and then during the retreat, and then after the retreat I also did like some fasting. And during those retreats, my Kundalini got awakened, like it was very active. And after that, I had the ability to, in my home, activate my life force energy. And the difference now for me was, before, my whole process of, seeking realization, enlightenment, freedom, it was all mentally trying to be aware, trying to be present, trying to feel my body, trying to be in the moment. It was all mental. But once I had that ayahuasca retreat and the Kundalini was active, everything became energetic. It was so much energy, so much sensitivity to energy. Everything became so full, radiant of energy. And the process in me started to become more energetic. I was more in the flow of energy rather than in the feelings of the body. And yeah, like I could penetrate with my mind, thoughts, illusions. Everything became so much more, how could I say this? Everything became more, not penetrating, but more potent. Like there was an energy now that was driving it all. So I think my spiritual process then shifted. But then I didn't know what to do. I didn't know, like I was drawn to go to an ashram, to spend some time there, to learn some stuff. But I have to admit, I was too afraid. I never traveled before to India, so I didn't go. And then a couple of months passed by, and I was drawn to a woman, and I met this woman, and I fell in love with her. The first time meeting her, it was not very nice. And then after some like time passed, I had like this meditation, and the words came to me: give everything you have to give to her. And after that, the energy was leading me in our interactions, in our relationship. When I was with her, the energy was active, and it was just leading me. It was like I was dancing through the movements. Words were being said, actions were being done, events occurred, and I was just like, whoa, I would have never done this. I would have never been like this. So my personality started to change. My personality became more loose. My boundaries of what I could, who I was, became more and more loose. And then we started this relationship, which lasted for 2-3 years. And we went through so much, and I had given myself completely to it. broke me completely. I learned a lot from it, a lot of lessons about personal responsibility, self-love, traumas, limitations, boundaries, like a lot, a lot, a lot. And I'm grateful for it, but after that, I was so lost because I didn't know where to go. Where do I go from now? It's like I was so focused on our relationship because I thought the flow of life will guide me with this person to my new life, and I will just keep going with it. But yeah, we both went our own ways, and we had different visions for our life. We had different interests for our lives. I was still more spiritual minded, and I was drawn to that dimension more. She was more to the physical, to the concrete things. So yeah, we went our separate ways, and I had no idea what to do, and I had this depressed state for months, almost like a year, and I was completely lost. And then I started to meditate again. Became better, became more clear, became more content, but it was still a fog. And then I started to meeting new women, and whenever I had like an interaction with them or intercourse, I would do like an energetic transmission. So because if I would have intercourse with somebody, I would feel like that I would just use them for their body. But if I gave them love from my heart to their heart, I would feel like it would be like balanced. It would be with good intention and with love. So I started doing that, and I met this one girl once, and after that I did the transmission, she told me, "Is that KAP?" And I was like, "What is KAP?" She said, "Yeah, it's Kundalini activation process. Look," and she showed me a profile of a girl in Brussels, in Antwerp, who was doing that. And I looked at it, and I was like, interesting. So I went, checked it out, and it was after the first session I knew, whoa, this is deep. This is unlike anything I've ever experienced before, and it's so intense. It's deep, and it's intimate. It's transformation. It's like one of those peak mystical moments that I've had when I was having very active Kundalini, and when I was at a very high energy level. I would have those moments, but this was like every session you would keep getting these experiences. Your embodiment would deepen, your energy would shift. So after the session, I started to notice that my reorientation in life would be shifting. My desires would fall away, and I would have a knowing in a knowing in my heart what I really wanted, what I really desired. And Venant Wong talks about this in one of his interviews. He says, the desires of your lowest self fall away, and the desires of your highest self become apparent. So for me, the more sessions that I did, the more that I felt back on track. Like I was back alive. I felt connected to life. I felt hooked, because I had this surge of energy in my body. I was like fully charged, and then I could live my life, but I would be living through my life with this new courage, with this new sense of renewal. And then gradually everything started to become clear. What my purpose is, what I'm supposed to do in life, what things I need to learn, where I need to learn them, what people I need to meet, how I should spend my time, what I should be doing in my free time, what I should dedicate myself to. All those things started to be filled in. And when I look back now, I realize it was like I was so broken, I didn't know where to go, what to do, and there was a hopelessness inside of me. And during KAP, my life became active again by this new insurge of energy, and and it gave me a purpose again. It gave me, and I realized, whoa, this is what's really wanting in my heart. And it allowed me to drop all the negative feelings, all the hurts, all the anger, all the disappointments, dropping, 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 dropping. One of the first tools that it led me to was to learn this technique, how to do shadow work. I always thought about doing shadow work. It's just being present, inquiring, trying to understand it. But then, after 10 sessions or something, I was led to this tool and I had like some resistance to it. It felt like, why should I do this? It seems so neutral. And I just I just kept seeing the image, do this, do this, do this. So I went and I discovered a tool which allowed me to completely comprehend and embody whatever block was causing me stress in my body and in my life, and to let it go. And now this tool is incorporated in, and I use it to integrate my illusions, to integrate my misperception. And then there are other tools that I'm learning now, and I realize the more KAP that I do, the more I feel like I'm living my soul's purpose, my soul's plan. Before that, I was just, following whatever idea was coming into my head. And there were so many of them. And it's so confusing because you can be pulled emotionally there one day. Then you have these ideas about going there. Then you have like these memories. This happened in the past, and my conclusion from all these events is that I should do this. And back and forth and back and forth, and family giving you advice and people around you giving you advice. And it can be so confusing. But when you go to KAP, all of that becomes stripped away and becomes so clear, and you're in this pure state of your essence, and you clearly know, I need to go here, I need to do this, this is my life purpose, and you feel really whole. You feel whole and strong in your core. And the more that you follow the path that is laid out for you, and it seems so neutral when it's laid out for you. It's like, when you think about certain things that you want, you have this projection, this idea, it will make me happy. I really want that. I crave that almost. But when these things come that are presented to you, like, this is what I need to do, this is my path, they seem so neutral. There's no projection of a payoff there. It seems like, why should I do this? Maybe I'll get nothing out of it. I'll pay money, I'll go and I learn something, all the hassle with travel, with all those days, like learning, like, all these resisting ideas, because there's no idea of what the payoff is. But it's like in one of his teachings, Adyashanti, he says, when you have a desire or an idea about something, and if the mind starts to give you reasons for why you should do it, right? Or why you shouldn't be doing it, it's probably from the ego. But if it's like a small voice, like, hey, go here, but there's no need to promote, explain, or try to push it, it's probably from a true place. And I found that to be true. It's absolutely true. And I'm so grateful for KAP. I'd never imagined that it would come into my life into such a synchronous moment, and an unexpected moment with this girl that I met. And then my whole life being reoriented, restructured. It's like I was living in this house, in this brick house, where everything was bland and dry and cold and stripped apart. Everything was just literally everything was bare naked, right? There was no substance, there was nothing in it of value. Just me lying there crying. And now it's like my whole house, my whole template is rebuilt, and there are like all these kinds of new arrangements, all these kind of decorations, all these kinds of tools, and there's this new atmosphere in the house, and there's this new aroma, smell, music playing. There's this flow. There's this beauty in life, because I realize there's nothing really to gain in life. If you have gone through it often enough, you will see the futility of everything, because it's always temporary. It's always temporary. It's always temporary. Everything and everyone. So being stuck in that cycle and the belief that maybe this next thing, maybe that thing, maybe da-da-da-da, it's like you realize like it's a fool's game, right? And now I know my soul has a certain kind of purpose. My soul has a certain kind of plan. My soul has a certain kind of path that this life wants to express and live out. And I have not the complete, but I have a sort of template and a guidance, like these visions that show me, go here, do this. It's like I'm having these mystical experiences showing me exactly what I need to do, where I need to be, who I need to meet, and I feel fucking grateful. Honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm in like an adventure movie, or like a like a like some kind of fairy tale, because everything is falling into place, and everything feels supported. Like I feel so supported by the universe and by the energies and by life itself. And I'm really grateful for that, because I never knew how to integrate spirituality and life. And now I'm learning that it's all about the inner intention, the inner vision, the inner resolution. If it's pure, whatever you do will be resonating to that. There's this thing that I wanted to talk about also. The more KAP that I do, and the more my energy is active and active and active, because I notice the more KAP that I do, the more my Kundalini energy is active. The more that I notice that my spiritual process unfolds deeper and deeper. You know, in Kriya Yoga or in yoga traditions, you have to have a very deep set of practices and do it daily. It's like 3, 4, 5 hours. It can stretch. You know, there are certain routines and mudras, mahamudras, chanting, whatever, to reach certain kind of states, to purify your nadis, your chakras, to balance everything. I mean, there are so many processes going on. I have no idea even of what is going on, but you have to have a deep practice to progress through that, right? What I really loved about KAP is that you go to sessions once a week, once every 2 weeks, and you have these deep experiences of transcendental moments, of realization, mystical experiences, without having to do all that work, without having to do all those practices. So you can get those benefits, and you can incorporate it, because the energy, the non-dual energy from KAP, is making the necessary changes and allowing your life force to embody your body, to embody your life in a way that is appropriate to you. And there's always like gradation, like now this is changed, now my food patterns is changed, now my tastes are changed, now my relationship to that has changed, now my ideas about certain things have changed, and it's all like adjustment. And oftentimes when I feel lost, or at a certain point when I feel stuck, I can just tap into that energy and ask my guardian angel for what the next step is, what I need to do now, what I need to focus on now, and I get guidance. And it's like, it feels so balanced. You know, it's like this integration of physical and non-physical, and you allow both to be there, and you don't make it weird or not normal or strange. You just allow yourself to go through it all, and you know that whatever is unfolding for you now is perfect, and you don't owe anything to anyone. Yeah, I mean, that's what I learned like last year's is like you've got to choose yourself. I've always had this idea that I wanted to save people, to help people. And I I did harm by that, because in my helping people, in my trying to help people, I took their responsibility away from them. I took their, David R. Hawkins says it in a good way, I took their karmic payoff from them, the opportunity for themselves to have a realization and to grow from it, to have a new intention, to have a new experience, to have a new insight, to bottom out and then recover. And for me, what I realize is like I have to focus on this life. And by being fully alive, whatever people have the intention and they resonate with me and we meet and we will have some interaction, maybe they will help me, maybe I will help them. Doesn't matter, but it's all about living your own truth, being in your own center and walking your own path. Don't focus on the others. Don't try to be a do-gooder. Do what you feel you need to do, but always focus on yourself. There's this quote from Anthony DeMello, and he says, you know, sometimes psychologists or people, they say, forget yourself, go out and help people, right? Forget yourself. But when you do that, all your unconscious patterns will govern your action. They will govern and they will destroy and they will cause more harm than good. If I look back at all the times in my life where good happened, it was never because I intended good to happen. It was because of a chance meeting and a sensitivity from my heart to really connect, to really reach out, to touch. And then something happened. But never because I thought, I'm going to help. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Yes, it's all from the head. So yeah, KAP, must say, KAP has been this moment in my life where it completely, it gave me life. Gave me a template for life, to live life again, because I didn't know how to live. I didn't want to go on like how I was back then. And now I'm living from my own truth. Whatever it is right now, how maybe it will be different in a year, in a couple of months, whatever. But to be connected to your truth, to be connected to your inner flow, to be connected to life. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Yeah. KAP saved me. And KAP gave me a reason to live fully. And it gave me my connection to myself back, my power, intimacy with myself. Gave me back this wonderment of a child, this amazement of a child, this curiosity, this enthusiasm of a child. It helped me to integrate parts of myself that weren't integrated. Sexuality, inner child, anger, aggression. I don't know how I will think about it in later years, but now I really believe that this tool, if this tool wasn't here, I don't know where I would be. But where I am right now and where I'm going is because of KAP. KAP has truly been a miracle for me. It's helped me to heal psychologically and to put everything in perspective psychologically. Helped me to feel, to listen more to my body, to nourish my body, to be kind and gentle to my body. It's helped me to be more aware of the signs that the universe is giving me, to not be so arrogant, to not be so pushy, to push through whatever is in my way, to be gentle, to be more yin, to wait, to let the flow come, and to express my truth, to be more and more in my truth. You know, years ago when I was doing ayahuasca, my Kundalini was so active. It was so active. Like, the way that I spoke then and the insights that I had then were much more metaphysical and complicated and I wouldn't say deeper, but they were more, mystical than now. But they were all not grounded. The way I am now, the way I speak now, the way I behave now is more grounded. Because back then I was all in this transcendent mode and allowing the energy to just play through me. And I was like, woohoo, we're playing. What can I do with this? What can I do with this? What can I do with this? And now it's just ground your body, allow the energy to flow through you as a tube, and do what you want to do. What do you want to create? It's a quote, coach. He says to me, the inner child in you, he asks, who am I? Who am I? But the adult in you asks, what do I want to create? What do I want to do? And then he does it. Because all talk is good and well, but eventually you need to act. You need to do. You need to put structures into your life and into life so that you can benefit from it. Other people can benefit from you. To do not just be. He says, we are a spirit having a bodily experience. We're here to do, not to just be and meditate all the time, right? And now with KAP, the importance of body awareness and body expression and body movement and body alignment is so important. Like, KAP is a tool that will radically, if you allow it, change your entire life. It will give you purpose. It will give you connection to life, connection to your soul, connection to the metaphysical. It will put you in touch with a community that is loving and kind and caring and nurturing. And it will make your life feel magical, like it's a magical ride. So KAP is really, I wouldn't say a cure for all, but it's something that I think all people need to do once in a while, because it will allow yourself to be yourself more and more and more and more and more and more. And because it's working directly on an energetic level, it bypasses the thinking mind. It bypasses the bodily restrictions, the blockades. It goes beyond that. It goes directly to the energetic body. And I asked my guardian angel, how many sessions should I do? What's the purpose of this? And I received this image and I saw it, that KAP, it's like when you have a body, you have sheets of bodies. At the core of who you are, there's a bliss body, right? There's a certain yogic name for it. There's a bliss body, right? And that wants to express itself, that bliss body, pure unconditional love. But then there is like atomic body, Buddhic body, um, the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, and all those bodies, all those layers, they have their own conditioning, their own programming. And what KAP does is it aligns all your bodies in such a way that the bliss body can find expression. And when the bliss body finds expression, right, which is the core of your being, then life is being lived with grace, because then everything is coming from the deepest of who you are, right? And not from the conditioned pattern. I mean, everything is, of course, still being processed through the conditioning that we have. But where it's coming from is making a huge difference. Because if you say one thing with a certain intention from a certain place, it will be completely radically different than when you say it from the deepest of your place, right? Because the words will vibrate different. The person will receive it different. You will feel it different. It will have different meaning, different context. So KAP has given me life when I thought there was nothing to live for anymore, or nothing to do anymore. I didn't know what to live for anymore. What do I want? I don't know. What are my talents? I don't know. KAP has filled all that in and is guiding me, it's leading me. And I'm so grateful for it. I truly am grateful for it. I can recommend it to everybody. Everybody who's lost, everybody who's okay, anybody and everybody. It will completely change your life. It will transform your life. Change and transformation for us is the hardest thing, right? Anthony DeMello says, we hate the new. We want to keep the old and add some new things, but we don't want to get rid of the old. With KAP, the old gets shed away and the new is being reborn, and the new is being given life and expression. And you feel movement, you feel alive, you feel like your life is back on track. So yeah, it got me out of a depression, gave me life purpose, gave me direction, gave me community, gave me tools, gave me communication, connection, intimacy. I mean, I don't know what else it will give me, but I trust it, and I'm completely in love with it. So thank you, KAP and Van Wong, for sending all the KAP facilitators with such beautiful sincerity and honesty into the world, because they're also sincere. If you meet a KAP facilitator, you will feel they're really sincere human beings, and they're very sensitive and very, very caring.